Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan Yogya ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Chapter 24, entitled The Renunciation of Kadamba Muni, text number 13. Is that right? Yes. Okay. Etavatyeva sushusha karya pitari putrake vadamityanumantita Gauravena gururvacha Etavatyeva sushusha Karya pitari putrakai Badam mityanumanyeta Gauravena gururvacha Etavatyeva sushusha Karya pitari putrake Badam mityanumanyeta Gauravena Gururvachaha Ladies. Itavati, to this extent. Eva, exactly. Shushusha, service. Karya, ought to be rendered. Pitari, to the father. Putrakai, by the sons. Badamiti, accepting. Yes, sir. Anumanyita, he should obey. Gauravena, with due deference. Guruho, of the Guru. Bachaha, comments. Translation. Sons ought to render service to their father exactly to this extent. One should obey the command of his father or spiritual master with due deference, saying, "Yes, sir." Purport. Two words in this verse are very important. One is pitari and another word is guru. The son or disciple should accept the words of his spiritual master and father without hesitation. Whatever the father and the spiritual master orders should be taken without argument. Yes, there should be no instance in which the disciple or the son says, "This is not correct, I cannot carry it out." When he says that, he's fallen. The father and the spiritual master are on the same platform because the spiritual master is the second father. The higher classes are called dvija, twice born. Whenever there is a question of birth, there must be a father. The first birth is made possible by the actual father, and the second birth is made possible by the spiritual master. Sometimes the father and the spiritual master may be the same man, and sometimes they are different men. In any case, the order of the father or the order of the spiritual master must be carried out without hesitation, with an immediate yes. There should be no argument. That is real service to the father and to the spiritual master. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has stated that the order of the spiritual master is the life and soul of the disciples. As a man cannot separate his life from his body, a disciple cannot separate the order of the spiritual master from his life. If a disciple follows the instructions of the spiritual master in that way, he is sure to become perfect. This is confirmed in the Upanishads. The import of Vedic instruction is revealed automatically and only to one who has public implicit faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead and in his spiritual master. One may be materially considered an illiterate man, but if he has faith in the spiritual master as well as in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then the meaning of scriptural revelation is immediately manifested before him. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnanandana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sigurau Si Yuta Padakamala Si Gurun Vaishnavamscha Si Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sujivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sivisakan Vitamscha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, we are greatly protected in this movement by the disciplic succession of acharyas. Therefore, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami begins his Chaitanya Charitamrita by offering prayers to the spiritual masters. Vande Gurun Isa Bhaktam Isa Avatarakam. So Vande Gurun, it says plural. He is worshipping all the spiritual masters. He's worshipping the entire parampara. He's worshipping the founder Acharya. He is worshipping the following Acharyas. He is basically appreciating Guru Tattva is one. It cannot be different because the absolute truth is one. So, therefore, there can be no difference between gurus because, after all, it's the same truth that they will all present. And yet, we see sometimes some apparent differences, a difference in emphasis. One spiritual master put so much emphasis on Vaishnav etiquette. Another one is speaking about distributing books. Another one is into food for life. Another one is holding retreats. And yet another one says, don't retreat, go forward. So what to do? It seems that there are apparent differences. But these are not real differences. These are just external ways according to individual nature. But the absolute truth is the same. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we are Krishnera Nichadas, the eternal servant of Krishna. And therefore, what can we do? We are devotees whether we want or not. It's who we are. It is our true identity. And that is the message that we receive from the spiritual master. That is Divya Gyan, that we are the eternal servant of Krishna. And so, any other tendency any other object of service will not be successful. It is said that it is the dharma of the living being to serve. That is our nature. As it is the true nature of water to be wet, the true nature of sugar to be sweet, it is the true nature of every jiva to serve. We have to serve. That is inevitable. Somehow or other, everyone winds up serving. That is our business. But truly, our service belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And of everything, and of course, to everything connected to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The tadiyanam samarchanam, that we must also equally worship the tadiya, all those things related to the Lord. The Ganga, the Yamuna, Tulasi, all related to the Lord, all tadiya. And it says that Aradhanam sarvesam Vishnur aradhanam param tasmat parataram devi tadiyanam samarchanam. That it is even of all worshipable ones, the greatest is Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. But even greater than that is to worship the tadiya. The devotees are tadiya. Why? Because these tadiya, these items are all dear to Krishna. The Yamuna is very dear to Krishna. It's not just, Yamuna Tira Vanachari. No. It's like Krishna gets excited when he's coming closer to the Yamuna. Right? The Yamuna has stolen his heart. He's even married Kalindi, right? Or the Yamuna personified as one of his wives. Krishna is greatly attached to the river Yamuna, and the river Yamuna greatly attached to Krishna. So it is said that the Yamuna is flowing around Vrindavan. The Yamuna is flowing in a circle around Vrindavan just to make a mala, to honor Vrindavan. That is the nature of the Yamuna. Because Vrindavan is non-different from Krishna. So in this way, the Yamuna is worshipping Krishna. Tulasi, how can we understand Tulasi? Very complicated. Tulasi is not a jiva. Right? Tulasi is a different tattva. It's a Shakti tattva. And now it is said that all these Tulasi plants are not individual jivas. Right? And that there are some jivas that take birth as a Tulasi plant and another jiva as another Tulasi plant. No, there's one Tulasi Devi, one manifesting in all these various Tulasi plants. How can we understand the miracle of Shakti Tattva? But so it is. So it is. So we learn. And we learn gradually about the miracles of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and what is not possible for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is there any limit to what he can do? Krishna shows. He shows. He ate dirt, then his mother looked in his mouth and she saw the universe in his mouth, while at the same time he was in the universe. How is this possible? He's in the universe within him. It's either one of the two. No, it's both. Janmadiyasya yatun vyat itaratas chartes swabhya swarat. He's Janmadiyasya yataha, as it states in Vedanta Sutra, the origin of everything. And he is everything. He is everything. But everything is not him in the same sense. Yes, Rasuham apsakunteya prabhasmisa sisuryayo. I am the taste in water. Okay, that's good. But And that's there. But water is not Krishna, although the water is the energy of Krishna. So the devotee is seeing everything as the energy of Krishna. But the devotee is particularly interested in the original person, Sri Krishna. And the devotee's business is to take the energy of Krishna and offer it to Krishna. That's it. Just like pujaris, right? Pujaris, they take something and offer it to the Lord. So we are all pujaris. We are all taking the things of the world and offering them to Krishna. Before things are offered to the deity, they need to be cleaned. Some things need to be, that are not suitable, are cut off and so on, and then we can offer to Krishna. So this is our business, offering to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. Yes, it is said like that. Young man sees beautiful girl. What will he do? Close his eyes, not look and be a brahmachari? Yes, or sit, but not a Vaishnava brahmachari, because a Vaishnava brahmachari will say, oh my God, she is beautiful, yes, but she doesn't belong to me. She belongs to Krishna. Simple as that. Bring her to Krishna. In this way, in this transcendental process of yukta vairagya, we can connect everyone and everything to Krishna. And that is our business, somehow or other. That is truly Sankirtan. Sankirtan is to connect everyone and everything to Krishna. And that's our business, our family business, to somehow or other connect everyone and everything to Krishna. Then the whole world can become sane. Right now, the conditions in the world are totally insane. Everything is contaminated. Everything is polluted. Where do you find the taste of water? I mean, where do you find pure water? Where do we find anything pure? Pure food, anything that's not adulterated, somehow or other processed. Homogenized milk. They take the milk, and what they do is they evaporate the water. And why so? Because then they can put much more in the tanks. So then when they drive, they can transport more. So it becomes cheaper. They save a lot of money in transport. Why transport all that water? So get rid of the water in the milk, evaporate it, and then later you just add water again. And give it a nice name, homogenized. It basically means, okay, this process, everything, they mess it up. And in the name of improving life, we have gone further and further away from the real purpose, to simply take the things of this world to offer them to Krishna. It doesn't take much to grow some grains, to grow some fruits, to grow some vegetables, to keep some cows, and everything is there to live. And gradually we'll be forced to go that way. That is, if you don't want to be vaccinated. Yes, to give an example of how we could be forced to go that way, back to farming. So, whatever may be, there always is a path. That is the wonderful thing of Krishna consciousness. It doesn't matter what situation we are in, there always is a path towards Krishna. There's always a way to connect a life with Krishna, as simple as that, and to find that way. So yeah, that's ultimately, and that's our only security, Krishna, nothing else. That's clear. All other securities they let us down in due course of time. That is the nature of the material world. Of course, we cannot artificially renounce. This chapter is called the renunciation of Kadamba Muni. And the renunciation of Kadamba Muni is really something. Because Kadamba Muni, he is not just a sage, but he's also a great Prajapati. And he performs austerity along with his wife to have good procreation, good children. And in the end, Kadamba Muni is so saintly, and so is Devahuti, that the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears as their son. Right? Then what does Kadamba Muni do? He takes sannyas. I mean, who would take sannyas if the Supreme Personality of Godhead is your son? He says, I'm sorry, I'm staying home. I'm not taking sannyas, no way. Right? None of the Supreme Lord is my son. Right? No, I'm not going anywhere. So this renunciation of Kadamba Muni is really something. He gets the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a son, and then he takes sannyas. Simply as his duty, as his service, and he lives in separation from his son, from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then Lord Kapila Dev can show how then the son will take care of the mother, instruct the mother, and so on, and that is going on. Yeah, that is something extraordinary. Something, a life of sacrifice. Yes, not a life from, my desires, right? Oh, my desires. What to do? I desire these things. We all have a few desires. Right? But Kadamba Muni, we see that yes, he also had desires. And Kadamba Muni was somehow or other, first he enjoyed with Devahuti and got these daughters. But then the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared as his son. This would be success. This would be it. I made it. Supreme Lord's my son now. Okay, this is perfection of life. No, the perfection of life is to live a life in service. The perfection of life is not for me here to enjoy the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I have to show an example to him. I have to show him the example that I'm ready to follow the Vedic injunction, and that I'm ready to take the path of renunciation. Not so easy. That I'm ready to, first of all, give up all material attachments and to have this paratmanista, this very firm determination to just satisfy Krishna, nothing else. Of course, the sannyasi is meant to inspire paratmanista. It is not that he's the only one who has paratmanista. In any ashram, one can have paratmanista. Paratmanista is just a matter of a decision. Whether one is male, whether one is female, it doesn't matter. One can just decide everything for Krishna. Now, whether you have 13 children, how many did Bhaktivinoda Thakur has? Was it 13 or 16? I'm like getting mixed up now. 16 or 13. I mean, you lose count at one point, right? But it did not in any way diminish his paratmanista. His paratmanista was so firm that he would come home. He was a district magistrate and also holding court as a magistrate. And he would come home around 5 p.m., eat a few chapatis and little sabji, and then go to sleep and wake up at 11. That's it. We come home, relax. Now, ha ha ha. Ho ho ho, I worked so hard today. Ha ha ha, finally I can do nothing. Okay, hey, how are you? There's nothing, some chatting, some playing with my phone or whatever. I'll just, look at that, 11 o'clock. Oh, well, maybe it's bedtime. Gosh, late again, right? If we get in bed by 11, we're doing good. But especially in the household ashram, in the temple, of course, 9 is sort of like, cut-off point. After 9 is like, it's already past 9. Yeah. But in the Grihastha ashram, 11 is pretty good if you make it before 11. Isn't it? But Bhaktivinoda Thakur didn't waste a second. He didn't waste any time in frivolous talk and frivolous play. He just did his business, ate something, and yes, maybe spoke a bit to his wife, this, that, which is part of life, right? Obviously. But then went to bed and would sleep. So how much did he sleep? Like 4 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, on a tired day, 5.5, or maybe even, today no chapatis, I go straight to bed, then you get in 6, right? But what a discipline, what a self-discipline, what a fixed mind. This is Paratmanista. So we are not bound to any ashram, we're not bound to any body, we're not bound to anything. We can be Paratmanista. Some ladies, for ladies, it's very important to chant early in the morning, fixed their 16 rounds, especially when they're still single, right? Before marriage. You should really strengthen this sadhana, because after marriage, once the baby comes, then comes the big test. Because it's very difficult to chant with a baby. So it's only those ladies who are fixed before, they make it. They keep on chanting their 16 rounds without fail. Many others are sort of like, sorry Guru Maharaj, but the rounds, okay, Guru Maharaj understands, and of course, yes, but as soon as possible, get back up there. But if we are fixed, and the same for anyone, right, for the males, if we just build up this practice of chanting very strong rounds, 16 rounds, it's not very difficult. You can join this movement, and we can start to chant 16 rounds pretty soon, right? Once they tell you. You should chant 16 rounds. This Prabhupada explained, 16 rounds, 4 regulator principles. It's a decision. Okay, I'm going to do it. Then you're doing it. Sometimes a little tight, but doing it. Right? Sometimes a few rounds in the car, or, or on the bus or the train or whatever. Very soft, And sometimes I was sitting on a plane in between 2 other people. And I'm supposed to chant my rounds, right? So it's not the same as when I'm, alone in the morning. I can go Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. When I'm sitting there and there's people looking at me like this, it's like you automatically start chanting a little softer. Yeah? It just happens. You're not just sitting there. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Of course, later I did it on planes consciously. I had this technique that, on the planes, they serve out huge amounts of food, right, to people, and they feel they've paid for it, so they have to take it all. They have to take all the drinks, etc., because they paid for it. So they have to eat everything. And then, so after they've eaten, they're knockout. So what I do is I go to sleep as they're eating. Yeah? So I try to sleep right through it so I don't have to smell anything, don't have to see anything. Then after they are finished, then I wake up and then I go walk through the aisle, up and down. They're all sleeping. And I say, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare. And generally speaking, there's no problem. No problem. Only once actually, there was a lady. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! You're making so much noise. Stop it! Stop it! I could just imagine how in her next life she would become like one of these little Chihuahua dogs or something. It's already. I just looked at, oh God, a Chihuahua. Anyway, what to do? What to do? But even the Chihuahuas get the mercy. They do, yes. So somehow or other, to have this paratmanista, to be fixed, to really be fixed, that is the requirement. And we need to fix ourselves. Right? That's it. And that takes practice. You cannot fix yourself by a decision. Now I'm going to do it. I'll be fixed. Let's see. It's the beginning of the year. Yesterday, all the good intentions for the year. This year, I'm going to. This year, I'm going to. It's already the 2nd. You know, some of the good intentions are going out of the window. I'm going to do this for my whole life. Are you sure? How do you know? How do you know that you can do it for your whole life? Are you going to promise initiation? But how can you? Can you oversee what will happen in your life? What if you get sick? Then you may not be able to chant so easily. Are you sure you want to promise this? And how are you going to do this? Huh? Are you so sure? Are you so sure that you can promise that you're going to follow this for the rest of your life? Oh, you great Sankirtan hero today and tomorrow, who knows? Wheel him in. This is the material world. Anything can happen. Then how are we so sure? Baba, we are not so sure. We are not so sure. I can tell you honestly, when I took sannyas, right, I sat down for the sacrifice and I was already sweating before the fire was lit. It's like, poof. And I was thinking, I'm 44. Do I have to do this? Why am Kadamba, Kanana, why are you always doing this to yourself? Why you always have to make your life difficult? Why can't you could have waited another 20 years. I could have, but I could not have gotten that mercy. I could not have done all that service. All the energy that I put into trying to enliven so many people in Krishna consciousness, all that energy would have gone into one little family. Right? All that energy would have been there in one family. Now, then, when I left, could reach so many people. So yes, paratmanista. We have to fix the mind. So how to fix abhyasa yoga yuktena sita sananyagamina? We first have to practice. We have to practice every day. We have to build up this momentum. Right? It's all based on momentum. Yes, we are conditioned souls. Let's not think. Sometimes someone is chanting and tears are flowing. So it's like maybe from the incense or something, or do you have some allergy? And sometimes they say, sometimes when I'm chanting, I'm crying. So, I see. Does that mean I am in bhava? Nah, it probably means you haven't come to Anartha Nivritin yet. You probably you just had to fix yourself in the early stages of bhajana kriya, and you're crying because you have to chant. Nah. What to do? Now, we should not be in illusion. We should not think we are in bhava. Bhava is not so cheap. Even if we borrow a little bhav, you see, you can borrow bhava from Prabhupada or from the Holy Dham. And go to Vrindavan and you just feel like you're a Mahabhagavat. Oh, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Oh, Krishna, Krishna. In Vrindavan, yeah, in Vrindavan it's Krishna, Krishna. But downtown, you know, downtown, it's a little different, right? It's not so Krishna, Krishna. It's like, Krishna, help me somehow or other. It's like that. So we need that regular practice. That to build up the momentum of regular practice, that will pull us through at moments of weakness. We need philosophy. You don't need so much philosophy at a time when you're full of ecstasy. Right? When you're full of ecstasy, you're just absorbed in a feeling. Yeah? But when it gets tough, when the going gets rough, there's an ice hockey team and they have a motto: tough and ruthless, rough and toothless. Right? So when it gets tough, yeah, then philosophy helps us. Right? Because then we can preach to ourselves, you know. I know it hurts, but you're not the body. So, you know, I mean, it's a nuisance, but anyway, it's not. Life goes on also. It's like, you know, it's like this is what we see. Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj was from Manipur, so he had that culture from Manipur. He was old, and he had a problem with his foot. He had gout in one toe. Gout is something like arthritis. It hurts in the joint, right? So it's like where the foot joins the toe, it hurts. And it says it comes especially if you eat very opulent, right? The royalty used to, or the aristocracy used to have gout, right? The Marie Antoinette had gout. Yes. So anyway, Maharaj had gout, you know, ISKCON diet. And was walking, and he was walking with a cane. So we were in Spain, and there was a Harinam. It was quite a long Harinam. Many devotees, 300-400 devotees, big Harinam. So the two of us were leading. So I was leading for, and I knew how long the road was because I was local at the time. So I did a full hour. So after 1 hour he goes, well, can I lead now? I go, so Maharaj, go for it. He had also an hour. That was more than he thought. Anyway, but as he walked forward with his cane, then it was time to lead the kirtan. He stood up straight, gave his cane to someone, took the mic. Then he started chanting, and then he did this Manipuri dance, which is something like, they go this way, they go that way, and this way, and that way. And he was like just really, really flying for an hour. And then after, he took his cane again and became an old man again. And walked away like an old man. And it was so nice to see the transformation, how he transcended just by desire. By desire, he transcended these physical limitations. By desire, he became transcendental. By desire, he just wanted to do a kirtan. What did he care about the body at that stage? I mean, just drag this body along somehow or other, this way, that way, and just dance and chant. And it was really, he was singing very beautiful and dancing very nicely. And then after that, it was a really nice Harinam. And after that, he was so happy. And then he walked with his cane and he said, and now we're going to take pictures. And then he wanted pictures with me because we had made that bond in the Harinam. And that bond always stayed. After that, is always like, treating me with friendship, this and that. And after his disappearance, I even went to his disappearance festival, or to a Vyasa Puja, I think. And all the Manipuris honored me with the Manipuri turban, and had to sit there. But I did it for Bhakti Shrup Damodar Maharaj. Because he had a real, he was a very deep transcendental personality. Paratmanista. So Paratmanista, or to have firm determination, cannot just be about fixing the mind. I'm going to fix my mind, I'm going to do regular practice, and then I'll be okay. No. To make it even more firm, there has to be desire. If I have a desire to do it, you have to cultivate the desire. I used to be in Vrindavan. Somehow or other, I had joined in Vrindavan. Now, in Vrindavan, all the leaders of the movement, they come. They all visit there and they all spend time there. So there they were, First of all, there were the 11 gurus, right? There was Tamal Krishna Maharaj, there was Bhagavan, there was Rameshwar, they were all there. And all these sannyasis were there. And I saw these sannyasis, and I saw they were different. And I was wondering, how is it? How is it that they're all different? Where do they get it from? Right? They must have a secret. Something. They must have a secret. All of this energy, this intent. What is it? So I was checking it out. I was trying to serve the sannyasis. And I could see that Srila Prabhupada is there, and it reminded me of a pastime in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Lord Chaitanya was in Jagannath Puri, and there was a big crowd of people, and the devotees, they made rings around Lord Chaitanya. First ring was Kasiswar and Lord Nityananda, and they were just making a ring around Lord Chaitanya. The next ring was all the Bengali devotees that had come. And the third ring was Maharaj Prataparuda and his man. So 3 rings around Lord Chaitanya. And I was thinking there are also 3 rings around Srila Prabhupada. There's the inner circle, the middle circle, and the outer circle. So on the outer circle, there are people who have somehow or other found out about Prabhupada, who are there. They're there. They come around. They attend the festivals. They are coming every once in a while. But they're not always following Prabhupada completely, strictly. Then you have the middle circle. The one who are in the middle circle, they're following. They're living by Prabhupada's standards. They're serious. And then you have the inner circle. And the inner circle, they are not just following Prabhupada's instructions and teachings. The inner circle, they are looking at what was important to Srila Prabhupada. What was really important to him. That I will do. That I will do. And I saw all these sannyasis were in the inner circle. Brahmananda was there. Brahmananda, such a personality. Prabhupada sent him to Pakistan as a sannyasi. He went with his danda, etc. I mean, I went to Pakistan many times, but put on some jeans, sort of like, and even then, people would come up to me and say, "What is that?" People grabbed my neck beads, pulled them and said, "What is that?" I said, "Oh, some souvenir from India." They said, "What is that?" Somebody close gave it to me. Right? I just tried to sort of waffle my way out because they were very intense about it. Super intense. So it's not so easy. I was on an airport, met some nice men from Iran, and we're talking on the airport. Then someone from Pakistan, from the Taliban, some Taliban type came, and we're having a discussion with these two Muslims, and they're very interested. Then he says, "Can I join the debate?" There was no debate, right? But there has to be a debate, because why are you not following the Quran? You see, there's a debate. There is, because you should surrender. Otherwise, you're a non-believer, and for the non-believers, you will burn and whatever else, right? So it can be intense. Yes. But somehow or other, we are carrying on. And Brahmananda, he went as a sannyasi. He was sitting there chanting japa in the park, and people would come up from behind and say, "We will kill you. We will cut your throat." And he's sitting there like, but he was waiting for an order from Prabhupada to call him back. And Prabhupada did call him back, but the order did not reach him. And he was there. Anyway, eventually he got the news and he made it back. And Prabhupada was like so relieved. It's like, oh, yes. I was there on the disappearance festival of Brahmananda, when the ashes of Brahmananda were placed in Samadhi in Vrindavan. It's a very amazing moment, actually, because of who came. Somehow or other, the devotees that came were all such substantial devotees. There was Guru Kripa. When ISKCON had no money, when ISKCON had no name, when Hare Krishna was just a bunch of extraterrestrials, a bunch of like Manidhar describes how the lady grabbed him on the street. When devotees really were like absolutely had no reputation at all, that's when Prabhupada wanted to build a temple in Vrindavan. And Guru Kripa said, "Prabhupada, don't worry, I'll get you the money." And he did. That was not easy. Not as easy as it's now. "Oh, you are from Hare Krishna?" Yes. There's always some Indians. They can always give some donation. Or even when we're distributing books, they know us. They kind of seen us. It's so much easier now. But Guru Kripa did it. He brought the money, and Prabhupada was so pleased. Guru Kripa was a solid Prabhupada man. Solid. He did what Prabhupada wanted. His interest was pleasing Prabhupada. That's Guru Kripa. Still like that. Prabhupada. There were all these devotees. Indra Maharaj was there. Malati was there. Prabhupada said for Malati, all the Gaudiya Mat sannyasis were coming and they were visiting for the temple in Mayapur. And Prabhupada asked Malati to cook. Right? So all these Gaudiya Mat sannyasis are there, dandas, everything. And Prabhupada asked Malati to cook. So then Prabhupada said, "All right, bring in the prasadam." Right? And it's Malati who comes with the pots. etc. And the sannyasis are looking sort of like, lady, huh? Lady, all Paka Indian sannyasis, right? Lady, huh? Prabhupada said, yes, this is my disciple, Malati. He said, she will do anything for me. She will cut her throat for me, and I will cut mine for her. That's what he said to the sannyasi god brothers. Amazing. So Malati was there. And then all these, Radhanath Maharaj came. I was also there. And then all these devotees, they all started glorifying Brahmananda and say, he was a real Prabhupada man. Now, these were all the Prabhupada men and women that were glorifying him for being a Prabhupada man. So, let us understand that these three circles are there. And let us, the outer circle, not good enough. Sorry, not good enough. The middle circle, it may be good enough for going back to Godhead, if we are actually following Prabhupada's teachings. But if you want to if you really want the special mercy, then Prabhupada men, Prabhupada women, somehow or other, let's take that desire of Srila Prabhupada and make it ours. And the more we do so, the more everything starts to get transcendental. The more our life becomes blessed, the less we depend on external calculation and maneuvering and strategies, the more things will start to happen. That's it. And we cannot waste time. Life is short. We have to move now. So, on this last day of of our festival, on the morning of the departure, I wanted to speak about this paratmanista, this firm determination. And let that firm determination be the firm determination to please Srila Prabhupada. Manidhar Prabhu said many things this weekend, right? Because once he starts talking, then he goes from one story into the next, and it's like they are really quite some stories. They were wild times, and very transcendental also. But one thing he said that impressed me was he said that I am just distributing these books because Prabhupada wanted it. And that's it for me. It stops there. That's enough, right? Prabhupada wanted it. Then, no more question, no more discussion. He wanted it. Then, he said, so I told him that this morning as I was sort of saying goodbye, because I thought I might not see him. And I said, I thought that was really, really nice to see. He says, yes, because that's me. That's my life. I said, I know, I saw that. And I was like, that is really, really nice. That is Paratmanista. That is Paratmanista. So let us have this Paratmanista saying, whatever Prabhupada wanted, let's just do it. Let's just make it happen. So, let's find out then, right? We may not know everything he wanted. Well, don't sit still, Did you read the letters? Did you read the Prabhupada Siksamrita? So many interesting instructions there. You have to read. This is very important. It's not just, there's some books, they're called Prabhupada Siksamrita. No, that's a summary of the letters. There are also the letter books, 5 letter books. Did you read those? Or you have it in the database. You can read them on your phone or some other electronic monster. But we should know, because they're filled with instructions. applied instructions. The books give us philosophical insight, instructions, and so on. Then the letters and the books together are very important because they give us applied instructions, you see. So we need to read these letters. And at least the Prabhupada Siksamrita begin with that. And there it's organized by topics and so on. And we can get a lot of interesting things from there. Very interesting things. Very deep points. Like in there you will read how Prabhupada says that, he says, I don't have any disciples. Krishna sent me many spiritual masters. You can read that letter, that's there. Yeah. So there are amazing things there. Amazing instructions. So let us find out, what did Prabhupada want? There are 37 volumes of conversations. Did you read them already? Read? No. Oh, yeah. I was waiting. See, in our times, many books were not there. But little by little, things came out. Then, okay, as soon as it was there, I would pay in advance before the books were out. Get them, yes. And then the Lilamrita start coming, okay, take that. The letter books, yes, I had already ordered them before they were printed. And the little red books from Satsarupa with Prabhupada Nectar. Yes, I'd buy them straight away. Then the videos from Yadubar start to come out, following Srila Prabhupada, right? I was like, again, as soon as I buy them, get them now. Yes, Hari Sori's diary, okay, take it. I got to read all these things. I got to know Srila Prabhupada. I got to know what he wanted. If I want to be in the inner circle, because that's where I want to be, in the inner circle. And of course, let's go there all together. That's my proposal. My proposal is, hey, let's go to the inner circle and just be there. And whatever was important to Prabhupada, that becomes everything for us. Everything. Let us go there to that inner circle. All together. Why not? That would be a good closing of the festival, wouldn't it? You say, wow, we had a great festival for the new year, and in the end we decided, 2nd of January, a day late, but we decided, that for the new year we're all going into the inner circle of Srila Prabhupada's associates. Let's go. But if you're not all going, then maybe at least a few. And if not a few, then at least maybe 2. And if not 2, then at least maybe 1. And maybe it's you. Maybe it's you. Why not? Why not you? Can be. It's up to you. It's up to us. Oh, you have to look for mercy if you want that. You have to serve the Vaishnavas. We have to somehow or other be eager. You have to read. You say, reading. I was never much of a reader. I don't know. Reading is not my thing so much, but I'm trying to read. Trying means crying. I'm trying. No, you have to do it. Not trying means you're not doing it. I'm trying to do it. Means you're not doing it. You see? You have to do it. So yeah, there's a lot to read. Huh? Let's do it. Any questions, any comments? Bashar. What does it mean, Bashar?
Bashar means the one who brings good news.
Okay. Well, that's good. So bring us some good news.
It's just not a question. You reminded me of a lecture from Lectutre Maharaj, Panchatattva Installation lecture, when he said, I was was ready to make that promise with me, whatever it takes. Let it be whatever taken away from me, or whatever I'm ready to take whatever, just to serve Srila Prabhupada. I'm paraphrasing. Like whatever needs to be taken away, or whatever it takes be given to me, I'm ready to receive.
Ganesham, Ganesham. Ganesham, why are you so austere? Oh, Ganesham, you're hardly sleeping. Ganesham, why are you chanting so many rounds? Oh, Ganesham, Ganesham, why? You don't have to do all this. Oh, Ganesham, you're always out preaching. You're always out distributing books on the library party. Ganesham, why are you taking so much trouble? Why? Ganesham, you don't have to do this. Ganesham said, you don't understand. You don't understand what it's like. He said, I have a big, passionate body. I have to make a special effort. I have to make, and he did make a special effort. And Ganesham became Bhakti-tirtha Swami. And Bhakti-tirtha Swami, he was on fire. He was the ambassador of love. He took sannyas from Kirtanananda Swami. He was close to Kirtanananda Swami. But Kirtanananda Swami went for a little while, a little bit out into the woods, one could say, on a detour. And then the GBC was forced to take action, and at one point in 1985, they excommunicated Kirtanananda Swami. As a result, Bhakti-tirtha Maharaj became upset because he had taken sannyas. He said, this went too far. We should have worked it out. He's in a family. We cannot just excommunicate him. That we should have done something to correct him, but not this. Not this. Then he left for 7 years. From 85 to 92, he just didn't come. He didn't come to Mayapur, didn't come to any GBC meetings, and he was preaching in Africa and preaching in America to African American people. And he did so much preaching in those days, right? And then he came back. And when he came back, he brought back the heart into ISKCON. After Prabhupada left, the mood had changed. The new leaders were strong. Sankirtan, 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 take over the world. But what was lacking was the love that Prabhupada had. Prabhupada had created inspiration and created like a capital of goodwill. For Prabhupada, out of love, everyone wanted to do it. But then after, it's your duty, out of duty. And the capital of goodwill began to go down. The capital they had inherited from Prabhupada. That goodwill went down, and it became heavier and heavier on the devotees. And the austerity was in the forefront. And push, and marathon, extended marathon. Right? We extend the marathon to 6 weeks. And then, we have the extended Christmas marathon, and then we have the extended spring marathon, and they would almost meet. Then we have the summer marathon, and we have the fall marathon, and it was almost like whole year marathon. And you go we cannot do marathon all the time. Then Bhakti-tirtha Maharaj came, and he just started to give these deep, inspired lectures about love and about kindness and about deep heartfelt devotional service. And it was like, what shall I say, it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming. In Mayapur, he inspired the whole movement. He brought like a whole new energy into the movement. Later, Radhanath Maharaj built on that when he came back from the New Vrindavan separation into ISKCON and carried it forward. I mean, just a little history, but, since I was there. So yeah, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. A man with a very, very big heart and with deep Paratmanista, deep focus on what Prabhupada desired. We would be on stage and he would holding hands with everyone and running back and forth. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. He's holding my hand, Jai Prabhupada, and dragging it up and down. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, and then dancing like crazy. When I just took sannyas, he said, "Give me that danda." And then he did a war dance with my danda. Okay, that's what you can do with a danda also. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. Yes, and it's just amazing. I go to Washington and there is the place where Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj has had his ashram. And upstairs, his disciples are looking after the house, and it's just, and they're working a job, and they maintain the house. And upstairs is Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj's room, and it's exactly like that, like it was, untouched, like everything. So, okay, they let me stay in the room. It was very nice. I could see all the gifts he had, that people gave him. When you're in someone's room like that, you see the whole reciprocation between him and his disciples, the acknowledgement he got, the pictures. Very, very wonderful. When you're in America, go there. Go to Washington and go to that room of Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj and roll in the dust. And look at everything, Oh, what is this? What is that? Ask them. They will tell you. And his disciples, they're so nice. There's such a nice service attitude. It's really amazing. Yeah, we were there together. It was like that, wasn't it? It was very nice. Finished? Okay. Well, dear devotees, the festival is officially over. Hare Krishna. Was very nice. Thank you very much. We go back to everyday business. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada.